Keep moving. This is Persistence Culture. I am your co-host, Mambo, and we got your host, Jason, in the house. What's up, man?
Yes, sir. How's it going, Mambo?
Doing good, man. Just dealing with this crazy-ass weather. It changes every day. It could be cold one day. It could be hot the other day.
Yeah, that's an understatement. The other day, like where I'm at, it's kind of more in the foothills, kind of like Santa Paula too, I'd imagine. And it's like literally 34 degrees at night and then fucking 81 degrees during the day. So it's like 50 degree temperature differential. It's nuts, man.
Yeah, and being an old man like me, it's like you go to sleep with the window open, and then it gets cold in the middle of the night, and then you got a stuffy nose the next day. And
yeah, that's it, man. You don't want to be sick nowadays, man. It'll lock you up.
Yeah, man. So we got another dope guest. Actually, we're welcoming back this guest today.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. Today's guest is amazing. He's a friend of the show and a creator of the platform. And he's also a deadly assassin, no matter the playing ground. From a gun range to a basketball court to a Muay Thai mat, he is an absolute killer. And when he's in the gym, you know it's only big dogs. So we got the epic creator, host of an incredible podcast, inspiring people all around the world to reach their full potential. On the Pep Talk, we have the one, the only, VC's finest, Big Pep in the studio.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I get so hyped when you announce it.
Just saying, man.
I feel like I need to walk to to go fight somebody.
That's what I'm saying. We got to get you next time when you have your first sanctioned fight. I'll be your announcer.
There you go. Yeah.
All right. It's kind of like it'll be like how Roy Jones came down with Red and Meth that one fight before. So we'll do something like that. Bro. But no, welcome to the Yellow Table. How's it going, man?
It's going good. It's good to be back. I miss you guys.
Yeah, I miss you too, man. I feel like I haven't seen you for like half a year. I know that's not true, but it feels like it, man.
Yeah.
It feels like it.
But I'm not gonna lie. I've listened to pretty much every single one of you guys' podcasts, and it's been great.
I know you're not lying because you comment to me a lot of times. You know, when you hit me up, you'll throw something in there about the show. So I'm super glad that you're listening, man. And probably easy to do it on the road, right? You just getting back to Cali, you said, right? So,
yeah, I just got back 2 days ago. I was in New York for about a week and a half, and it's funny you guys are talking about the weather.
Yeah.
When I came back over here, it's been amazing because I was in 31 degree weather with the wind, and it was cold. I hate cold.
31. That's nice, man. That's not bad for an NY in February, man.
Not for a California boy like me. Oh man, anything below 40,
That's cool though. But you're right in the heart of the city.
I was. Yeah, I was working, and so I was out there for about a week. But yeah, happy to be back home. Got to hang out with the wife for the past 2 days, and then,
Hell yeah.
And then now back to business.
Yes, sir. Always right back to business, even when you're coming home from business, man. So
Exactly.
It's quite the grind, and that's where I want to kind of start asking you. It's not your professional career, so to speak, to be a creator. So what's been your biggest challenge balancing both your professional career and your aspiring career as a creator?
That's a great question. And to answer that, it's just making sure that they both don't interfere with each other.
Yeah.
So when I'm with the client, or what if I'm on the road, I'm solely focused on that.
Mm-hmm.
And then once I'm checked out and I'm back home, then I'm solely focused on the creative side. Both sides, I take notes. So because I journal a lot, so when I'm home, I'm thinking about like how to be a better like bodyguard or this and that, or I write stuff down like, all right, I need to do this or do that.
Yeah.
And then when I'm on the road and have a lot of downtime is when my creative juices start coming up. I'm like, all right, let me think of the next guest. Let me think about some content. Let me think about making a reel or adding some new flavor into, whatever I'm creating with Juan and with Nick, so yeah.
Hell yeah. And speaking of creating, and while it's in my mind and I don't want to forget about it later, I want to give a shout out to your boy Juan and that dope ass Kobe Bryant art that is in the Big Dogs Only gym, dude.
Hell
that
yeah.
shit is tight, man. Very tight. But getting back to your creating, so that's really cool. And you're probably usually in creative spaces, on your professional career. So I was going to ask, but you kind of already answered. That's really cool, and that you can pull that creation kind of into your own thing. So do you get inspiration from the people that you meet throughout your professional career that rolls into your creation career?
100%. I mean, I get inspiration from anywhere, but if we're talking from like on my career, my work space is anytime I'm in a room and I'm listening to, I keep my ear to the streets, right?
You got to, man. You got to, right?
And so if I see whether it be artists talking to each other, multimillionaires talking to each other, and I'm just listening and just hearing their ideas and their emotions, I'm like, why can't I do that on a smaller scale?
Yeah.
And so
until it gets to that big scale,
hopefully. So yeah, I pick little things out, then I create it myself, and I have a team with me, and that's a big
badass team. Yeah.
I appreciate that. And that's a big thing that when I first started, I was like, I can do this and I can do this. And it was always I. And then I realized like, you're only as good as your team. So I make sure that I bring.
That's right. You need that bench strength, man.
100%.
So that's dope. And how long? So you said when you first started creating. So Pep Talk isn't necessarily a new venture for you. So when did all this start? When did you say, I can add value to this world by creating content?
So it's funny. I was actually just speaking to Anissa earlier about this. About 4 years ago, after I got it, I was doing, the security world for about 3 years. I really wanted to like put myself out there. I wanted to be like a host. I wanted to be a Mambo. I wanted to be a Jason. I was like, I really want to, like, I have so much knowledge. I feel like working in the world that I live in or that I work in, but I'm so fucking nervous of the camera. I hate being in front of the camera. I hate talking in front of the camera. Yeah. Even back in 2017, like there used to be a meme with the team, the Rat Pack that I work with. And when a camera would come in front of us, I would get in shock, or I would get nervous, or I would stumble my words.
Really?
Yes.
I never would have guessed, man.
Yeah.
I didn't know you in 2017, but
even our first film, or our first recording that Nick and I did, he had to coach me through stop saying like, stop saying as, and he almost had to like be like my own like cheerleader, like you can do this, be confident. And so, but once I got that, then I told myself, all right, let me do a vlog. So I did a vlog gearing up for a tour that we did in 2018. It was kind of like, how does a bodyguard get ready for a tour? And so we did a 5-part series on YouTube. Yeah. And it was super small. Like it was just something that I was like, you know what?
Is it still available?
Yeah, it's still available. And it's actually,
what channel is it?
It's on my YouTube.
Oh, is it on your YouTube?
Yeah. And if you look it up, it says like, 2017, like getting ready for tour, like a music tour.
Okay, dope.
And so we did that. But what's cool about it was, I remember telling my wife, I go, not that I want to show like the fighting, the working out, the typical what people think bodyguard is. I wanted to explore the other side of it, which is like the mental side of it. Like I'm leaving my wife for 3 months. I don't get to see people for 3 months. I have to get myself mentally prepared for being on the road in a different state, different country, prepping myself, understanding, okay, what people I trust, what people I don't trust, who's my point of contact. So it's not just like,
it's a lot of things going on in your mind. And then on top of it, like you said, you also have to balance your own mental health. You got to have all these separate compartments, man.
100%.
So.
Yeah. So that was my first,
entry to the
attempt at it. And it was actually, I've never told this story. Years ago, when I wanted to get into this field,
okay,
in 2015, I remember watching J. Cole had an HBO special, and it was called like Dreamville something. And I remember reaching out to his bodyguard on Instagram, and I was like, and I just wrote him, I was like, oh, he'll never read it. And I pretty much wrote like, how did you get to where you're at? And he replied to me, and then we became friends. His name is Elijah, really good guy. And
hell yeah, well, shout out to Elijah.
yeah, and the YouTube vlog that we did, literally a year and a half ago, he asked me, he's like, hey, I'm creating this app, this like bodyguard, like executive protection app.
Oh shit.
Where you can.
So kind of like care for like childcare, how that kind of centralized it. It's kind of going to be like that for security professionals.
Well, it's almost like a LinkedIn. So it's almost like a LinkedIn, but an app where you can get like, you can start a community with each other. You can talk about like, certain regulations, in certain parts of the world.
Oh, so it's more like knowledge sharing, like a forum for you guys to be a part of. That's dope.
It's his app, and he asked me, he's like, hey, do you mind? And I didn't even know he even saw it. He's like, do you mind if I take your series that you did in 2017, and do you mind if I put it in this app so that when people look at it and they want to know like the life of a bodyguard?
Oh shit!
Wow.
Yeah.
No way.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And I remember like thinking, I was like, oh yeah, for sure, because now we're boys. And then I remember telling Kristen was like, do you remember in 2015 when you like just threw your fucking shot at this guy, and now all of a sudden you guys are like friends, you guys talk, you guys text, you got like, I give him work, he gives me work, and I'm just like
working on a fucking dope ass app, kind of, not necessarily working on it together, but your creative content is going on to this app. So man, that's badass, dude.
And the members in this app are we're called executive protectors, but pretty much bodyguards all around the world. So people in India, Australia, fucking Istanbul, they're watching that
clip.
series. That series. Yeah,
that
it's a 5-part series.
Yeah. Dude. That is tight. So that was before the diet starts tomorrow clips and things like that you did. Okay.
So yeah,
I got to go back in time then. I kind of started there and just I guess never went back deep enough in the channel.
I think what it was is because during that time I felt like that's all I could contribute because of the platform that I was in. I was like, all right, I'm known as the bodyguard, which is totally fine. So let me capture that. Let me monetize that.
Do some bodyguard stuff.
Do bodyguard stuff.
Yeah.
But then I realized I'm like, I have personality. I have character.
Damn right you do, Pep.
And to top it off, I've always been a big advocate. I still do. I advocate for like the big boys.
Yeah.
Because I was
big dogs only, man.
Yeah. But I was also a big obese dog younger. So
stages, man. There's peaks and valleys.
So that's where I was like, you know what? Let me make these content more about like enjoying life, me being me, enjoying food, but also balancing, having working out, but having fucking a burger, having, doing jujitsu, but then having beers with my boys.
That's what I'm talking about.
Like everyday life stuff.
Yeah.
That's it. But that's the thing is I think sometimes people, and I'm sure you can speak on it, is like people think like you're Mambo, like you're the radio guy. It's like, no, there's 23 hours more in the day. You only do it for like an hour of the day. There's so much more. So for me, it was like, I'm more than just that.
Yeah, totally. And
I will say this because I just did your podcast recently and it just dropped. And I've never been the type to be in front of a camera either. And I think we talked about this earlier and it's crazy how people are saying like, yo, you need to do more of that because they really like the podcast that we did. And
people really like your face, man. That's the thing.
No.
It's a nice face, man. It's a nice face.
Let me tell you, he's the good looking man. But also, let me tell you, the people have been hitting me up and people who've lived here for like 30 years, 25 years.
And they don't know what he looks like.
And they're like, that's how he looks like? They put a face to the voice. And I'm like, yep, that's all.
Mambo.
You know what? You know why? Because we've always used the cartoon as the face of the voice.
Yeah, it's been like a character for you and Rico before the morning show. So that's dope. I didn't even think about that aspect of you being on video in Pep's podcast, and that's what's dope about your podcast right now. And we're aspiring to eventually have all of our episodes kind of on air too on YouTube. Right. We're working there, but that's what's really cool. And I love when you portray your previews for episodes and put your content on Instagram. And while we're on the topic, if anybody's listening out there, where can they follow you at? Because it's a great follow.
Sure, it's my Instagram is BigPep3342, and that's on my LinkedIn or is that what it? No, Linktree.
Okay,
it has all the links. It has my YouTube, has Instagram, it has the podcast, everything. Yeah. So.
Hell yeah. So that's what I think is really cool. I love how you kind of have it as like a laid back setting. It really opens up the floor for like a comfortable conversation. And then honestly, the video makes for some dope content.
Yeah.
Like for me, with this whole creative thing, that's where I struggle at, right? Because I never feel like an out of place old dad more than when now I try to navigate the streets and avenues of Instagram. It's like, what the fuck am I doing? Like just the other night, right? So I recently posted on, you can follow me if you'd like on presscoveragesportshow.com or not .com. See, there you go. At Press Coverage Sports Show. But I was trying to make a story of the last episode when we did the spicy noodle challenge, and man. It took me like a fucking hour and a half to make that stupid ass story, dude. And my wife was like, "Just give me the damn phone. I'm getting tired."
I'll tell you this much: that story about it's called the Good Goods, right?
The Good Goods Life. Yeah, it's a new snack market.
That podcast was amazing, but if you go to the last fucking 5 minutes, it was the most hilarious thing ever. And I was in my room in New York, and I'm listening to this, and all of a sudden I could feel like you're trying to make conversation with the owner, and Jason in the background is like trying to be Mr. Cool Guy, eating this hot fucking what was it, a chip or something?
No, it's actually like a noodle cup. So it's the company is I believe it's pronounced Daybach, but it's I guess it was like a TikTok challenge. So they have them in the store at the Good Goods, and I purchased it. And Alyssa told me when I was walking out, and she was like, "Yeah, have you seen the TikTok challenge on those?" And I was like, "Wait a second,
nah,
TikTok challenge? There's a TikTok challenge with eating something."
So,
but it was I highly suggest if you're into spicy food and you like testing your boundaries, go for it because it actually has some dope ass flavor. It really does. Like if I could have chopped up some sweeter like teriyaki chicken to try and dumb it down a little bit or something, it would have been.
FYI, he was sweating. He turned red within a minute.
Yeah.
Well, it was funny because you it was still recording. You can hear him saying, "Oh, my lips, my lips, they burns." And I'm like, dude, that
was the worst part, bro. My lips were on fire after I got done.
I learned my lesson 2 years ago, and I did hot ones. I did that on one of that YouTube channel where they do like different like hot sauces.
Ooh, and like just straight shots of hot sauce or something.
No, you put it on a wing. Like
okay, okay.
But they're fucking terrible. And so, long story short, it was with Logic, and he had his last two, and he's like, "Hey, and I was doing it with him, and he's like, just have these last two with me." And by then, we're already dying. All right. And so everyone at the last one, they do cheers and they like tap their wings. So I was like, fuck it. Like everyone is doing bites. I'm like, I'm eat the whole thing. I ate the whole thing.
Oh man.
Not only did I start crying, I tried to drink milk. Milk didn't work. So what they do is they brought us a bunch of sugar packets and we just started just putting them all in our mouth. Yeah.
Oh, and it was literally dumping sugar packets in your mouth.
Yeah, because I couldn't even think. It was the scariest thing ever. Yeah.
Yo, I can't do spicy because I get heartburn.
Yeah.
So I get heartburn with ketchup. So is it worse
These noodles
as you're eating it, or is it worse when you go to the restroom?
I think it's worse when you're eating it.
Yeah, I would say it all depends. It really all depends. And, I guess it probably depends on your lifestyle for that whole day. Maybe collectively the next day might be worse. But yeah, in the moment when the spice is hitting you, like when my lips were burning, like even after we got off the air all the way, before Nalissa left, I was like, fuck, my lips are on fire. I don't know what to do. I literally took paper towels and was like dabbing my lips. And when I looked down at the paper towel, they were like bright orange. Yeah, it was. Yeah, so,
man.
But it was fun. It was worth the challenge. It was worth the burn. Yeah. And you talking about hot wings made me think of the Barrel House too, right here in Ventura. They got some spicy ass wings there too. They ain't like that where you need to be dumping sugar packets in your mouth, but they are definitely legit, man. And yeah, so those kind of things make for great content, and that's why we're going to start taking more video of the show, and we're looking forward to that.
I can't wait, man, because you guys, especially like this past year, the podcast has just been so good. So good. You guys have the best guests.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to the rest of this year and all the years after that to come. We got the studio all put together finally. Now we finally get to welcome everybody to the yellow table when they're here. So it's all coming together slowly and surely. But so is yours, man. And like I just wanted to touch base on this because I've been listening to your episodes and stuff. My favorite one is probably the one that you did with D. Pinkert. That's probably my favorite one so far because like I actually heard of Ventura County before I even ever thought I'd ever step foot in Ventura County or California, let alone for that matter. And I heard of it through sports. So I know that there's like a rich sports history here. So it's kind of cool to hear about a local sports hero that I'd never heard. I heard the story of Lorenzo Booker and St. Bonnie's, and that's kind of what got me into it. And I heard of a lot of the other pros that made it to the NFL, but I don't know enough about the rich culture of the guys that were just absolute studs their whole high school career. And his story was really cool. And when you're talking about the team that you're on with the Jordans and staying and balling out, dude, that was like the coolest story in the world. And I just thought it was funny. You're talking like you show up.
It was funny because people actually thought I was lying. And I'm like, I can't lie about this shit. Like, we were on a private jet at 15.
That's crazy, bro. You know that's fucking crazy to go hoop, too.
Yeah, to go hoop.
And then lose.
And lose every time. Every time. I'm telling you, man.
That is crazy, bro. But that was that AAU ball?
It was AAU ball. Before
AAU?
It was travel ball.
Yeah.
It was travel ball. But, the way that we would walk into gyms, like we run the place all Jordaned out, and then we would lose by 40, 50 points.
Hey, you got to look good.
But we would look great. Exactly.
You got to look good to play good, man. I'm telling you, that line holds true. But you're talking about great guests on this show, and I think you've had, top-notch local guests like D. Pinker and literally living legends like the man to the right of me, Mambo, on this latest episode. I haven't got a chance to listen to it yet, but I can't wait to listen to it. But I wanted to ask you from a creator standpoint, right? If you had the perfect scenario, right? So I know music and sports are a big part of your life. So if I give you the opportunity, this person can't say no. You got to pick one musician and one athlete to sit down on the Pep Talk and chop it up with. Who do you pick?
Oh my gosh.
Wow, that's a great question.
That's a great question. Yeah. Athlete, can I pick two?
You can give me two, and then
Okay.
we'll pick which one was better. I'll help you settle.
All right, I think my first one would probably be LeBron James.
Okay.
I think, and not just because of like the basketball player, but just everything else. Just like his story. His story of like the come up and what he's done now, his accolades. The school, all that stuff. And then also, I probably want to do Conor McGregor.
Conor McGregor. Why Conor?
Because it's Conor.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
It kind of goes without saying.
yeah,
but-
who knows what he would say? You know?
That's what's cool. Like the stories that Conor McGregor would have are probably legit. Like
Exactly.
I want to hear about some Ireland bar fights, bro. Like talk about all the fights that he gets into when they're like literally like sanctioned press conference events when this dude's throwing dollies through bus windows
Exactly.
and shit like that. Imagine what he does in a good old Irish pub, I want to hear about the fight that Conor McGregor wasn't expecting to happen and somebody, gave him a run for his money in one of these Irish pubs, dude. Because I tell you what, you watch like the England, the European soccer matches, these fools throw down at those matches, dude. Those dudes go nuts, bro. What's that movie? Green Street Hooligans. Have you guys ever seen that movie? Yeah,
where they meet in the street and they just fight.
Oh yeah, it's fucking nuts. That is a nut movie, and the reason they made the movie is because that's how shit really actually goes down over there. So no wonder Conor McGregor loves fighting.
And then musician. The first person that came to my head, honestly, was Jay-Z. Mm-hmm. And
he seems to always be the guy.
Well, I think because he has such a. Well, first off, it's the aura, and then also it's like he's for the past, I want to say, 15 years, everything's kind of been on the low, But also,
you don't really hear too much about Jay-Z no more.
The only time you do hear about him, other than like releasing like an album, is like, oh, he invested $100 million into here, or he bought this type of NFT or this type of Picasso, or he's working on helping with this policy, and it's like nobody even sees you, but he's still making moves.
To me, I feel like Jay-Z, while we're on topic, after the Black Album, right? Black Album was supposed to be the retirement party. And to me, I think that kind of still holds true. I don't think Jay-Z was ever fully Jay-Z after that album.
I think
he really transitioned into the businessman Jay-Z. Obviously, he made great music after that. I'm not saying all his music sucked after the Black Album, but he was just never the same old like Jigga Jay-Z anymore. Like it really changed after that. To me,
do you say that because like that was like your Jay-Z, kind of like that was the Jay-Z that you were used to?
100% it was my Jay. But I mean, that was the more of the era of Jay-Z that I liked. But I continued to follow him as a musician and as a creator. But I don't know. To me it just changed after that.
For sure. I don't know if I agree with that all the way because I mean,
what's your favorite post-Black album from Jay-Z? What's the
post-Black?
So post the Black Album, what's the best one that he's come out with since then?
American Gangster.
Okay, that's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one.
Like 444, I wasn't a fan of, stuff like that.
Kingdom Come, I hated that
but
one.
Also
I'm not gonna lie, Jay-Z, I'm sorry, man. I know you probably,
No, I'm a fan
like, who
of,
the hell is this idiot talking about my music? But
the song, or not the song, but the album with Kanye.
Watch the Throne.
Yeah, Watch the Throne.
That was a good one.
Yeah, that is a good one.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's just a killer combo. To me, I feel like Jay-Z brings the best out of Kanye. And I mean, Kanye kind of does the same with Jay-Z right now. He didn't need Kanye before Kanye, but I really love when Jay-Z and Kanye pair up to this day. Like it definitely still creates the best content.
Speaking about Kanye, have you guys been watching the documentary series?
Yeah.
Yeah, the on Netflix.
Yeah.
That's good. Dope. That's so dope, man. The way
super dope.
It's so fucking sick.
Timing too for everything that's going on with them. Yeah.
How do these people? How are they that smart though? They're geniuses when it comes to marketing. Like all that footage has been around forever. You know, I mean, this is like taking me back. Like that's what's so cool about it. That's what's really cool about it. It's like, man, this was when I was really into hip hop. Like I was knee deep in hip hop.
Jason, when you were in the streets,
when I was in the streets
on the corner,
when I was in the birthplace of the great Jay-Z, Trenton, New Jersey, I was knee deep in all this stuff. You know,
he was rocking his Timbs.
Exactly, Timbs. Yeah, it must be, man. Yeah, dude. I was literally. It's funny you said Timbs. I was literally thinking the other day. I was like, man, I haven't owned a pair of Timbs for a long time, and that just felt like blasphemy coming off of my tongue.
Let's go to the outlets, bro.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I need to get me a fresh pair of Timbs. I'm always rocking work boots now. I love my work boots. They're nice, but they ain't Timbs.
What's considered the Timbs of West Coast, like Vans?
Oh, the Timbs of West Coast?
Yeah, like I mean,
probably
Vans, right?
I'd say Vans or Chucks.
Yeah.
But, you know, I mean, I don't know. It's different, though, because you don't really have to wear boots here. You know what I mean?
Thank God.
So, like, Tim's, I mean,
I would say
catch,
Chucks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
You'd catch some people in the basketball. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to say I never wore a pair of Tim's with basketball shorts, but I'm just saying on the East Coast, you wear them because it's wintertime, you know, and you need to wear them, you know, but they do look all right with basketball shorts too, man. You can pull it off. You just got to own it, man.
Bring it back.
Yeah, basketball shorts.
Bring it back.
Basketball shorts, wife beater, and Tim's. It's coming back this summer. It's coming back this summer.
Matter of fact, do that at the 5 a.m. class, man. You should just do a CrossFit workout.
I'm do a workout in Tim's. Like I remember when Will Allen was in the combine and supposedly forgot his running shoes and he ran a 4.40 in a pair of Tim's.
Wow.
Yeah. Never really did much in the NFL after that, but it got him drafted in the first round.
There you go.
Yeah. So I mean, you can do what you got to do. You can run 4.4 Tim's. You know, you deserve a spot in the NFL.
What would be your guys' answer to that question?
Okay. I can field that one. I would say from my perspective, because I chose sports and music because I felt like those are probably two of the bigger, you know, quote unquote genres in your life.
Sure.
Same for me though. Same goes for me. So when I wrote that question, I was kind of already thinking like, all right, if he throws it back at me, I'm definitely gonna go with Allen Iverson. Because just because he has a killer story, and that's another thing that I thought was cool about the D episode when you were literally like 1 minute before you said he was like the Allen Iverson of Ventura County back then. I was literally thinking in my head like, man, this dude sounds like you're telling me Allen Iverson's story right now as far as his team members and stuff. So I loved him in the pros, right? It was a huge part of me growing up. We were going to the Wells Fargo Center. I was watching AI as a kid. I remember I was super pissed when they drafted him because even as like a little kid, I was like, why the hell are you going to draft Allen Iverson when we got Jerry Stackhouse? What the hell is going on in the front office up there? You know, I'm an 8-year-old kid, but I'm like, why are we doing this? And then I saw why we did it. You know, Allen Iverson, I didn't really watch much college basketball back then, I mean. So I knew who Allen Iverson was, but I didn't know the pre-story. There's such a crazy pre-story to Allen Iverson's life. If you haven't looked into it, there's plenty of documentaries. I think there was even one on...
There's one on Showtime, I believe, that I seen.
And there's the 30 for 30, like the brawl and all that. Yeah.
So, I mean, he's just had such a cool life of peaks and valleys. And to me, real life is peaks and valleys. You know, you never know how deep the valleys are going to be or how high the peaks are going to be. But I would say Allen Iverson probably has some of the deepest peaks following the deepest valleys and back up and forth again, you know, and I just think that it'd be a really cool story to get his perspective on how he kept moving through all that, you know, and how he had to battle through all these things and he still turned out on top a good human being, you know, even when all the chips were stacked against him and everything was, you know, had him up against the wall. I think it'd be really cool to get his take on how he made it out of those valleys and how it was at the top of those peaks, man, because I remember watching him beat Vince Carter in that Eastern Conference Finals when we went on to stop the Lakers' undefeated postseason, stepping over Tyronn Lue on the back. That will live in my brain forever.
You mean the only game you guys won and then we ended up winning the championship? Yeah. Okay, just making sure.
I'm telling you, I will be an old bastard one day with amnesia or Alzheimer's or something like that, and I will remember that baseline shot from Allen Iverson. Yeah. So that would be my sports guy. And then for music, that's where it gets like I don't know, that's so hard because like there's so many dope ass musicians out there. Obviously, Jay-Z would be incredible. I would like to hear his story and his true take. You know, if we can get like the true take, like if he could just separate himself from Jay-Z and just really talk, that would be so incredible to really think what was going on in his mind while he was, you know, going from literally a guy that had to scrap for everything on the streets to a little legitimate billionaire, like legitimate billionaire. But for me, I feel like a fun interview for me would be Cameron. I love me some Killer Cam, and I just feel like it would be the dopest stories. And to me, Dipset just kind of had a different style music when they came out. And I feel like when you can kind of cut your own notch out of a piece of hip hop or a piece of a whole music genre in general, you know, like kind of how, you know, Sublime cut their cut out of punk and rock, or how, you know, the Rolling Stones cut their part out of rock, you know, and it wasn't just typical stuff. So I think that'd be fun to kind of see how the whole Dipset thing really started. So if anybody's listening out there, get the Dipset gang back together and get a nice little documentary, coattail off this Kanye thing. And I'd go Killer Cam for my guy.
I'm sure people are probably wondering like, why is this guy saying Cameron wrong? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But no.
Yeah. And I think Cam would be cool. He was in some dope ass movies back then. Oh, yeah, nobody had street gangster movies on lock like the 90s did. The 90s came out with the best content movies.
He was the first one to wear pink.
Yeah. Exactly.
So, what about you, Mambo?
Athlete, I think I would do. It had to be two, bro. It would have to be Pelé and Neymar. Have you seen Neymar's documentary?
I didn't know he had a documentary.
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
Oh, what?
Probably one of my favorites right now. I mean, the Kanye, I think, is just because of the music thing. Yeah. But the Neymar one is very dope. Yeah, and I brought it up in a previous episode, and people have hit me up saying like, "Yo, that's a dope documentary."
Wow. Okay.
And Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Jay-Z's hands down.
Yeah. I mean, Jay-Z, it's hard to pick anyone other than Jay-Z, right? You can't really think of too many like musicians in general that have touched so many different factors in life. You know, like you said, like now he's literally, you know, making...
I mean, if you think about the big moments that have been happening, I mean, the halftime show at the Super Bowl, he had his hands on that shit. Mm-hmm. So you just think about like everything he's touched, and you know,
not only that, he's helping the NFL even write policies on how to like promote, you know, racial indifferences better. I mean, I mean, he's doing like, he's going like full on like philanthropist freaking Jay-Z right now.
No,
so
100%.
So I respect it, you know, and I'm not surprised either, you know, when he had the line about, you know, I don't wear jerseys no more, I'm 30 plus, you know, give me a crisp pair of jeans and a button up, you know. So I mean, like, he's always had this like businessman mentality, and he hasn't allowed like his beginnings or his travels keep him in a certain place. So got mad love for Jay-Z, but I'm still going Killer Cam. I know you guys might not always be on the same page, but no. So that's cool, and I'm just looking forward to when you get to those stages to interview these types of people. Man,
I appreciate that, man.
Dope ass pep talks, bro. So what can we look forward for Pep Talk this year? What's in the works? What are your plans for the rest of the year? 2022, man. We're just getting on and cracking. What's going down? You
know, well, first off, before we keep going further, I need to say, because I know the Persistence Culture family and everyone listens, is Pep Talk isn't where it's at if it wasn't for this company. You know, from the bottom of the top, from you guys believing in me to Enrique to the whole squad, because helping me get this platform and being able to feel in a way like stress-free and being able to create content that pretty much nobody's micromanaging. It's like, hey, we believe in you. And that's the big thing.
Yeah, you're the creator, man.
And I think that's been a big thing for me. It's always been like, it's been hard to have like self-belief. So for a whole team to say, hey, we believe in you, run with it, and we'll support you, you can't ask for a better team than this, you know? So,
well, we couldn't ask for a better guy to be on our squad creating content, man. So I'm throwing it right back at you, dude.
Appreciate that. But to answer your question, man, not just me, but the Pep Talk family, the team, we have big plans. We just got done doing an hour and a half meeting with Anissa. You know, we're working on our Pep Talk, not just merch, but it's called the Pep Talk Collection. So we're doing a collection that's going to be dropping in the
Anissa
summer.
Will take you to the next level.
Yeah. So her and you know, Juan, my co-star, but also too the creative director himself. They're working together.
He's a badass artist, man. I can't wait to see what they come up with.
I mean, he's been doing merchandise for the past 3 years for numerous artists, you know, from a Logic to a Kyle. I mean, his works all over the world. So to have him support me, and he's coming up with ideas, Anissa, it's a match made in heaven.
It's dope. It's gonna be incredible.
Exactly. And then in regards to like the podcast, I think I want to start traveling. I have a couple great guests in New York that want to do it, in Miami that want to do it. You know, and it's like,
you have the means too. I mean, you're going to these places.
Yeah.
You know, that would be dope, man.
But ultimately, though, to be honest, is like I started from day one. Is I want to make sure that I do my due diligence in bringing people's stories out of the 805. More importantly, because I can definitely go and get, you know, John Doe from New York or whoever from Miami, and they have great stories. But also too is like, man, I grew up in Ventura County, and the people who I know, who I've met, have amazing stories. And like my slogan says, you know, on my podcast is, I'm just a person trying to help other people tell their stories. And it's like, why, before I get too like extreme thinking about like the other side of the world or the other side of the country, is like, let me make sure that I'm taking care of the people here. You know, like, you have no idea, like all the people who I've interviewed, but people fucking love Mambo.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And people were like, yes. And the biggest thing is like, how did you get Mambo? How did you get Mambo?
Mambo's a fucking legend around here.
Hilarious,
And I'm like, all I had to do was ask.
Yeah,
you know,
seriously.
finally.
That's what's crazy to me, honestly. Like to be where I'm at and to have the opportunity that I'm in, definitely trying to seize it. Because I remember when I first moved to Ventura County from San Diego, his radio show was like one of the first things that I started listening to regularly. And you would have told me back then that I'd have been doing a podcast sitting next to the guy, I would have thought you're crazy. You know, and I mean, I always had, that's why I thought I wanted to ask you that question about shifting from your professional career to your creation career, because I always thought that podcasts were cool, even before podcasts were cool.
Yeah.
Buddy of mine, Jimmy, shout out to him. He co-hosts a lot of the press coverage sports shows with me. But we used to chop it up in the living room about sports all the time. And that's when podcasts were like just kind of starting. There wasn't even, I don't even think Apple Podcasts was a thing yet. And I was like, dude, we got to figure out how to do this podcast stuff. I think people would really like our content, you know, and now literally probably 12, 13 years down the road, now we get a chance to do it. I'm really stoked and super grateful that I have him coaching me through it. And, you know, like you said, a platform that Persistence Culture is providing to do all this
100%.
stuff. So, that's what's the tough part, is shifting from the professional career to the creation career and trying to keep those mindsets, you know, fluent together, like you said, while when you're in the one, you're not giving away time and mental space that you should use on it, but also being aware of your surroundings and using those observations and experiences to help you in the creative world too, man. So,
and also too, I recently said this to my wife. I was like, I also want to use my network, my resources. Like I've never asked, I'm not the one to ask for favors.
yeah.
So if I've had to ask certain people who quote unquote call them famous or artists or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, I've worked security for you. Can you be on my podcast? And what do you get? You know, I've protected you.
Yeah.
Sit on my fucking couch. And
Yeah, come on.
let's have
Just
an
chop it
interview.
up with me, all right?
Come on, man.
I'll protect you while you're there too.
Exactly. But yeah, and then also too, on the other side of it, I also do like I go check out like local food, you know, local brew, local beer.
Yes.
You know, and I do local food trucks. And just recently, I don't know who told me, but they were like, you need to get back into that because
Yeah, you do. You need to tell me your spots, man. I ran out of spots. You told me all the spots. I've been to them all. Now I need new spots.
And that's the number one thing that people say is like, anytime you go to a place or if you post somewhere, we'll go to that spot.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, cool. And also too, it's like, I see people grinding like all these new food trucks and people are putting their fucking lives, you know, investments into this. And if I can use my quote unquote platform to
help them out.
Make a video and whatever, shout them out. And, you know, having Nick Brush is like a great videographer and editor and be like, you know, let's make this into a fucking movie. And that can a domino effect. All of a sudden now they have 50 more clients because of that. Why not?
That could change. That could literally change their life too. Honestly, you could look down. They could look down the road, you know, and be like, "Man, business really picked up after that Pep Talk episode, or after that, you know, motivational video that I was a part of. You know, just being a little snip part of a video. I mean, it can make a huge difference, man. And I really think your taste in food, by the way, is top notch, man. Because you haven't let me down yet, man. So I appreciate it. And yeah, I look forward to that. I look forward to all the badass stuff that's going on.
Thank you.
Like I said, like the dope shit that's in the future. What's in your future this weekend? That's what I want to know.
Oh man. So, it was the UFC fight this weekend.
Okay. Who's scrapping?
It was Masvidal and Colby Covington.
Oh, yeah.
But I have a double date that I forgot that I reserved a date.
Well, just pick a spot with TVs.
It's not my call. It's my wife's
pick a
call.
spot on TV.
Hold on, that's in the evening. But
Trying to get him in trouble,
that's
bro.
in the evening.
No, I'm just trying to help them game plan.
But let me tell you something, and I know where you're going with this. But I know Saturday morning David Goggins is going to be here.
Sunday morning, yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you this: 2.5 years ago, I read his book. My life changed after that. I swear to God on everything.
You're one of many people that have said that back to me when I bring up David Goggins.
And it's crazy because that was when I was kind of like bullshitting on my workouts and bullshitting in my in life. I was just kind of being like
coasting through.
Yeah, complacent. And then when he talks about it, and excuse my language, but when he's like, "Hey man, that inner bitch inside of you, inside your mind that wants to tell you to fail, you tell him to go fuck himself and get better and get better and get better." I've literally have read his book. I listen to his Audible book 2-3 times a year. So I will be there. I will be there. Like honestly, I think I'm more excited just to be in his presence.
Yeah, Sunday at 0800.
Yeah. And I mean, you know, in the workplace or the work field that I work in, like I see celebrities, I give two shits. But the fact that I'm going to be able to see David Goggins, it's gonna make my year.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
it's pretty.
so dope.
It's pretty dope.
yeah.
And I was talking about like creative content. I'm looking forward to that weekend too, because this weekend, if you're listening to this podcast and also being a part of the David Goggins Challenge, which you should be, even if you can't make it to David Goggins, take his advice. If you can't run every 4 hours, then do something for 40 minutes. You know, it takes the average person 40 minutes to run the 4 miles. So do something. Get up out of bed at midnight and do fucking jumping jacks for 40 minutes, whatever it is. Because me and wifey with the kids, we can't go and run 4 miles at fucking midnight and 4 a.m.
Yeah.
You know, even if I maybe had the motivation to do it. So we're gonna try to do some kind of little 40-minute EMOM workout every 4 hours for the weekend, and then also run a few legs. But in between all that, we're gonna have a little remote studio set up at the Ventura PC, and we're gonna get people's inputs as they're coming back and taking off on these runs all weekend long. We're gonna tie it all together. And hopefully if David's got time, he can also jump on and answer the same questions that we're going to be asking people through the weekend.
Imagine if you fucking get him. Oh my gosh.
So, I mean, obviously
get him. Yeah, get him.
No pressure, David, you know, but if you have the time, we'd love to get your input on the same questions. But this, to me, this challenge, you know, David made this challenge to be more than David Goggins challenge, right? To me, the more incredible part of this upcoming weekend is all the people, the brave souls that are going to fucking try and run 4 miles every 4 hours for 48 straight fucking hours and run 48 miles in a weekend. Mm-hmm. That's crazy. It's a sneaky ass way, David, to make us run 2 marathons in a weekend, and you've convinced all these people to do it that are not marathon runners. It's intense.
You know what's crazy is we had a Christian on the show to promote the event.
Yeah, big shout out to Christian.
And I've never gotten so many DMs about people asking what it was. This is the first time I hear about it, you know, the challenge. But people that showed interest in it and saying like, yo, like, you know, like I've been wanting to step up and get fit, and they're gonna try it too.
Yeah.
Like,
hell yeah,
yeah, and you know, they asked for the name of the book and everything. So to me, it tripped me out how much interest people showed for this.
You guys ever read the book?
I haven't read the book. Read the book. And I mean, full disclaimer, before this challenge, before Christian had mentioned the challenge, I had no clue who David Goggins was.
Yeah.
And I must be the only fucking person on earth that doesn't know it, because anybody else that I brought it up to, like, dude, David Goggins changed my life. Dude, David Goggins is the reason I got back in the gym. David Goggins is the reason that I'm doing this and that, and I love his book and everything. And I mean, everybody to like the director that I work with knew who David Goggins was, and I was like,
if it wasn't for him, for me reading his book, I wouldn't have ran my half marathon.
See, I mean, that's what's cool. And I mean, I'm excited to meet the guy, but I'm also just really excited to watch persistence culture. Not only the people that we see in the gym all the time, but hopefully the people and the other members of the community that come to run with us, and maybe not only run when David's there, but run the entire weekend with us. Yeah. Push it, you know. So if you're listening to this and you've never been to the gym, or you want to get to the gym and you're like, fuck, I can't run 4 miles every mile, then walk it. Ride a bike. Ride a scooter, skateboard, do whatever you do.
Active.
And do whatever you do, but do it every 4 hours for 40 minutes.
Yep.
And challenge yourself, you know, and that's what's key. The Chech and everybody came out with a great video right now. It's on the Persistence Culture Instagram feed. It is fucking fantastic. And it's a motivating video of the Bodfather himself running down the trail and trying to motivate us all to be a part of this challenge. So I'm really looking forward to giving everything I possibly can this weekend to the David Goggins Challenge, dude. I'm stoked, man. And like with all the nonsense that's going on in the world, you know, who are we to say that we can't suffer a little bit for a weekend?
Amen to that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel you on that.
Because there's plenty of people suffering right now, man. And it's just, to me, it's just like, why not, you know, find a reason to suffer with them? You know, it's a little thing that we can do. To me, that's the way that I'm looking at it, you know?
Yeah.
Because the world's a tough place, man.
It is, man. It is. And I mean, I'm sure we don't want to get into detail, but man, like, prayers to Ukraine.
Yes,
man, for
big
real,
prayers
man.
to Ukraine. I'll get into detail. Fuck Russia. Fuck them. I'm standing with Ukraine 100%,
I respect
man.
that, man.
Screw them bastards, man. It's bullshit. You know, I mean, they're the only dumb mother. They're the only idiots out there still just trying to be like it's the fucking 40s and you can just roll tanks over somebody's border. And I know it's a messy thing, and I'm not saying necessarily deploy all our troops over there right now, but somebody needs to end this shit right now. And it's just, I'm hoping that what comes out of this terrible situation is the absolute demise of Putin's reign. Let's just end that shit.
Yeah, but I also, I guess the glass half full about it, which is hard to even like try to fathom, is I appreciate that the world is joining together.
Yeah,
you know,
100%.
whether it's the like the Delta Airlines or like the airlines itself, whether it's FIFA, they canceled Russia, like stuff like that. Like the world, Russia's fucking up, but the world is seeing that if we stick together, like shit can change.
It's not gonna happen.
You know?
It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. And that's that. I 100% agree with you. And that goes to show you that like the days of those world wars. You know, everybody wants to say that this is a world war. It's not going to be a world war, because if the world decides to go to war against Russia, we're going to fucking demolish what we have to demolish and then hopefully build up a badass democracy and a free country in Russia, which I'm pretty sure even if they're brainwashed enough over there and they don't believe it right now, they'll be happy after it happens. So I think you're 100% right. And a lot of people like kind of laughed it off. I mentioned to somebody the other day, I was like, oh, no World Cup for Russia. And they just kind of laughed about it. And it's like, but that's what the FIFA, I mean, what do you want? FIFA to go grab fucking assault rifles and go fight them? That's what they have. That's their platform to fight for them. So this is my platform to tell Russia to go fuck themselves. So I'm going to do it. Yeah. And you know, they make them different in Ukraine. All right. You got the Klitschko brothers that are fucking Hall of Fame boxers that are holding rifles right now in a foxhole somewhere ready to go defend their country. You got Vasily Lomachenko that left his you know, comfortable life here in America where he trains to be one of the best boxers in the world, and he's over there right now as part of a territory defense unit. So I mean, to me, they make them different in Ukraine, man. Those guys are rallying to the call. So
Jason makes me feel like I'm, you know, Mel Gibson in Braveheart.
Yeah.
All I need is blue. All I need is blue paint on your face, bro. Hey, where you go, I go, Jason.
Hey,
let's fucking
I'm
do
down.
it.
I mean,
I'm following you, bro.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, it just.
But I get it, bro. I get that passion. I get that. I mean, there's a mixture of like, dude, it's hate, man. Yeah. It's just not where. Look, the world had a fucked up 2 years. Mm-hmm. Fucked up 2 years.
Oh yeah,
and we're barely scratching the surface of like so quote unquote normal.
Yeah.
And then this shit happens. It's like, man, we all need to just come together as one, you know? So
seriously, we do need to come together as one. And I think the world's doing the best job that they can right now. And hopefully that makes a difference. And that we don't need to send a bunch of people over there where even more innocent lives, you know, they die. So, I mean, with that being said though, there's plenty to look forward to in life, man. And I'm one thing that I'm looking forward to is that David Goggins challenge this weekend. And that's dope. So you'll be there Sunday morning?
I'll be there Sunday morning.
I'm going to be there.
Yeah, I'll be there.
You going to run the 0400 too?
I'm going to be there.
0400 and 0800?
I will be there. I will be there. I will be there.
And then, you know what I'm saying? 5 a.m., me and the rest of the thoroughbreds on Monday?
I promise you that I will do a 5 a.m. class soon.
Come on, just do
I know. It's just, I was talking to Gage, and obviously I'm going to put this out there because if you don't say it, it's not going to happen.
Put it out there, right? Manifest it.
Yeah. I have goals. I have goals for this whole year. Every month is a goal. You know, and
what's the goal of March?
So the goal of March is to get back into like fully get back into CrossFit.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, get back into it.
You'd be a beast, dude.
I mean, well, with the help of Gage and Sean and all the coaches, I was feeling that way, but obviously, you know, schedule happens and stuff, but I told myself like that's just a fucking another excuse.
There's CrossFit gyms everywhere, man. There's probably a badass one in Manhattan somewhere, I'm sure.
And also too, if I can't go to my comfortable 8 o'clock class or 9 o'clock class, I can go to about 5 a.m. class, you know? So, but that's my goal for March, but also too, like I want to keep it up. You know, I want to keep it up. I you know, the community speaks for itself, and I miss the crew. So
it's a good vibe in there, man. To me, it's the best way to start my day. Like today, I wasn't able to make it to my 5 a.m., dude, and my whole morning just starts different, dude. It really does. Like I'm not like bummed out or depressed, but it just feels different. You know, when I'm just drinking my cup of coffee in the morning at work or whatever, I'm like, damn, man, wish I got a little pump in this morning. You know what I mean? You know, it really gets the heart going a different way, man. And I saw, like you said, since you travel a lot, man, hit up the CFO, hit up Gage. I just saw him post something on Instagram that he's in the dungeon working on his programming. And if you want private programming, hit him up. Just tell him like, dude, if I'm on the road, how do I get a CrossFit workout in a fucking hotel room? And he will give it to you.
Well, it's not, you know, what's funny is like when I used to go to the CrossFit gyms and I would post it like on my Instagram, people would hit me up and they'd be like, yo, if you're ever in Vermont, I have this CrossFit gym, or if you're ever in fucking Chelsea, New York, and I'm just like,
Damn you people.
like, damn.
You psychos never give me a break. But yeah, that's what I like about it, though. And it helps you stay persistent when you have the right culture. You know, I don't mean to be so cheesy with laying it out there like that, but it's very true. And we stay true to the name, man.
Yeah, 100%.
So, and that's where I'm like, when you said you had Christian on the show promoting the David Goggins coming to Ventura, I mean, that's a big deal. He's only going to like 6 places. Mm-hmm. This dude is big time. And Christian and all of Persistence culture worked really hard, but Christian specifically, he's the one that kind of lit the fire on the kindling. And I mean, big shout out to you, Christian. And we need to continue his next chapter of his Odyssey too. So that'll be coming soon, but I'm stoked for him being able to come through and get David to come. It's pretty dope.
You know, what's funny is yesterday, the day before when I got back, Kristen, my wife, and me, we were walking the beach, like the promenade.
Yeah.
And we took a roadie. You know, we have a beer in our coffee cups.
Yeah, a little road soda.
We're just walking, chilling.
Uh-huh.
And then I see this beautiful man with no shirt running with his girlfriend, and I'm like, fucking Christian.
This fucking
and
guy.
I'm like looking at him, like I'm dazed. I'm like, God, what a beautiful man. And I'm just like, and
That's why he's the Godfather, man.
And so I see him, and I go, David Goggins. And then he's like, hey, Pep. And he's like, and then he said something like, see you Sunday. But then he like ran into the wind, and then all of a sudden I turned my head, I turned back, he's disappeared. I'm like, all right, man. Like
little subtle cool mohawk just blowing in the wind. Yeah.
It's like, bro, like you're not flexing and you have an 8-pack. Like, you don't work
What's up with that? What's going on there? Yeah. No, he's awesome. He came running into the gym at at the last 5 a.m. class I was at on Tuesday. And he was like, I ran here, did my 4 miles. And he's literally basically done the David Goggins challenge for the last like 2 months. So he's ready. He's ready. I'm just glad they're going to have ice baths on deck because that's a lot of running.
Oh, yeah.
So prepare your legs, people out there that are getting ready. The meniscus and the old quads and the glutes are going to be feeling it.
Oh, 100%.
But I'm looking forward to being a part of it. And now I'm really looking forward to Sunday. I'm going to get you on the mic again this Sunday, man. I'm going to double down on you on the microphone this weekend. Like I said, we're going to be set up, man. So I'll
bring the coffee. We'll hang out.
Hell yeah.
You'll have refreshments there too, right?
The roadie coffee, though, right? Yeah. Not the real coffee.
Oh, I can do that too.
Yeah, exactly. One real coffee, one roadie coffee.
Yeah. Also, last thing that I want to do this year, by the way, for the platform.
What?
And, I want to do a beer. I want to do a beer collab.
Oh,
I want to do a beer collab. Juan and me and the PEP Talk crew, we're working on coming up with whether the brewery or whoever. But
you looking for taste testers?
Taste testers. We're looking for our own label. We want to do an exclusive, amount of cans, and who knows, they might eventually be whatchamacallit, what is it? No. Collector's items.
Yeah. No, I'm down. Like limited edition, I'm down. And so since I know Juan has a deep appreciation for art, I do too. Now, craft beers all kind of have, like funky cans. They always try to have a little bit of art behind it. But some of my favorite is Pizza Port Brewing. So if you're looking to harass a specific brewing company, I know that Made West and Pizza Port have done 2 collabs that I'm aware of, Hazy Lines and Queen of the Beach, which Queen of the Beach was one of the best beers I've ever drank in my life. One of the best beers I've ever had in my life. So I say we corner those 2 guys and we just start harassing them.
Look, we already have.
We
have the market plan. We have the rollout. We have the game plan. We have
got the persistence.
We have the persistence. We have the platform. We have the design. All we need is that one lucky.
And we got the 2 best craft beer makers in California that are going to collab with Pep Talk.
Exactly.
Dude, it's going to be dope. You know what? I'm looking forward to the Pep Talk and everything that's coming this year, but I'm even more looking forward to spending some more time with you in the Persistence Culture facility and then outside of it as well, brother. Yeah. So, I mean, it's been an absolute blast. Thank you for being on the show, man.
For sure.
I really appreciate it, Pep.
Thank you, guys.
Always good to see you, dude.
Thanks for having me. And keep it up.
You know what? Let me hit you with the random question. I didn't even have one prepared. But at the beginning,
I was waiting for that, by the way. But
shit! No, that's it. It's because I'm on the different side of the table, man. It threw me off.
I didn't have one prepared.
Okay.
But when he introed you, he's got some of the dopest intros.
Yeah.
You said that, man, I feel like I'm walking into a ring. If you were a UFC fighter, a boxer, or wrestler, what would be your song you would walk out to?
Ooh, great random question, man.
So I have two. I've actually thought about it.
Good. Yes.
Thought about
Okay,
it. Yeah.
Good.
I thought about it. So it would actually be. I would switch it out. I would actually do. You know that song "Over the Rainbow"?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I want because I know I'd want to come out to like something like relax and calm, and everyone, you know, me being a big guy, they'd be like, "Why is it he's playing this like soft shit?"
Talking about like somewhere over the rainbow. Which version though? The Hawaiian Cat or the original?
No,
one?
the Hawaiian Cat.
Okay.
For sure. But on the other side of it, I would definitely come out to the training montage of Rocky Balboa. Yeah, when he's training, when he's in Russia and stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
That gets me pumped up for no matter what I'm doing, bro.
Yeah. But there's also the theme song, the Bloodsport. Like that would also be like the
That's
Kumite.
pretty good. Yeah, that's a pretty good one. There's a lot of music to get you pumped up, man.
I gotta ask you guys, what would be yours?
Strictly because of Roy Jones Jr. and that one fight, I'd come out to the Rockweiler and hopefully have Red and Meth walking down with me. Because, dude, the way that beat kicks in and then the way that Redman just starts his verse off, dude, it gets me pumped up.
You thought about this too, huh?
Oh, yeah, man. I mean, yeah, that was like the perfect intro. But if I don't want to coattail and ride on them, I'd probably come down. I'd have to time it right so that it cuts into the hook. You know, I don't know how much time I'm going to have, but it would probably be Even Though What We Do Is Wrong.
Even though what we do is wrong.
By Freeway.
Oh my gosh! Well, I haven't heard that song in forever.
When the heat stopped working and my heat started working, I'll rob me a person.
Yeah, when he performed that on the movie, oh my gosh.
So that's probably what I would come down to if I had to pick my own.
That's a good choice right there.
Yeah, that's clean.
Yeah,
yours?
I would have to think about it, bro. I can't. Yeah, I've never thought about it like you guys. So yeah. No, but thanks for being here, bro. Appreciate it. I know it was last minute, but we do appreciate you. Also, if you want to check out his podcast, where's can they get all the links?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the best way is to look me up on my Instagram, Big Pep 3342. But also, too, my YouTube channel is the same handle, Big Pep 3342, and
on the Persistence Culture platform too.
And it's on the Persistence Culture platform. And once again, you guys, Enrique, the whole squad, thank you guys for supporting me, and hopefully, for many more years to come.
You got a seat at the yellow table for life, big dog.
Appreciate that, man.
Hey, make sure you guys give us a follow at Persistence Culture. Keep moving.
I guess it's so fucking hot.
Fuck yeah, I'm sweating like a motherfucker.
Shit, I forgot to turn on the AC today.